Let's talk about that for a minute. With music producer Mr. Pope. An hour-long show we discuss various topics, insanities, insecurities, injustices, all at the hands of a self-made man. Watch out for Century Girl, the new album. Coming soon from Common Time Tapes, March 1st, 2021. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the live edition of Let's Talk About That for a Minute, an hour-long show where we discuss numerous topics. And I'm your host, music producer, Mr. Pope. I want to start the show out today by saying I've recently ended. What's up, Callum? We're live right now on Facebook Live. That is, I've been working very hard on music. I've been doing what I can to, I guess, cope with the current crisis that I'm dealing with right now. Welcome Claudio Vasconcelos to the show. He's watching. We have 2 people watching right now. Wow, I really got to keep in mind that this audio is also being pre-recorded. Tonight's album is brought to you by the upcoming album from Mr. Pope, Century Girl, and Other Reoccurring Themes. I believe that this is my best album thus far. I worked very hard on it, and one of the things I did during the process of this album is something I'd never done before, which was crowdfunding, which I did, of course, through Facebook, where I have just the most reach of people. And I would not normally do something like that because, though I am on Spotify right now, I cannot afford to have my music. Well, I can't afford to release new music. Essentially, I'm still on there. Whatever. I have like under 40 monthly listeners. I've had 40 to 50 monthly listeners before. I was put on a playlist today. The new single "Get Dreamy," which has been played on the show, and it's also been it's part of another. It's also been a part of my Los Angeles music experience, and I just feel the need to, again, confess something very dire right now. The Century Girl fundraiser is now over as a result of a recent scam that I was a victim of. I was a victim of fraud. I don't want to get too much into it. I'm dealing with this as professionally and maturely as I can. This was in the form of something that I would really like to probably revolve tonight's show about, or this afternoon's show, depending on which time you're listening. I have been, like I said, raising money and receiving donations for my musical endeavors because that is kind of the only way that a musician can really make a living right now. And for the very kind, small amount of people who did donate, thank you so much. And I sent them tracks, like I promised, before they were released. We're going to play some of these new tracks tonight on the show. We're going to put our sunglasses on inside and listen to them and just feel real cool while we're listening to them. And I want you to all join me on this journey that we have going on now. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to turn the other light on. We're going to maybe get more people here on the Facebook Live show. All right, now we really feel live. We really feel like we're doing well here. Feeling like Johnny Depp in the midst of trouble right now, in the midst of controversy. So, you know, this is Let's Talk About That for a Minute, like I've said. I don't know why I got to keep repeating that. I feel the need to constantly repeat it. Scams are everywhere, and in the city of Los Angeles, when people are trying to break it into the biz, they will probably go through some means using the internet that are very desperate, you know. I have a microphone in front of me right now, but it's not a real microphone, it's just a fake one. Well, it's a one that's not turned on. Maybe we could turn this one on. Let's see if we could turn this on. You see, the minute you start doing these shows live, is the minute that your life just ends. You start doing these desperate things for attention, for people's validation. I just like doing this because it makes me look like more of a real podcaster. So visit Sun God Records if you want to. It's really had me reevaluate my life. I feel like I've let so many people down. I feel like I've let people down because, I tried super fucking hard to, like, release this album, and I worked so hard on my shit. And this really, Century Girl is a concept album. It's about a lot of things. Some of it's about my story since I've been here in Los Angeles, and it's about me kind of changing my intentions in life and realizing really what I want, and honestly how vulnerable I really am, and for once not being afraid to be vulnerable, just embracing what I do have. And the concept of the album is a tricky one. It's something that I want to talk about also today, and that's the theme of unrequited love. I feel the need to give people, once again, a backstory on just who I am. I was a drug addict for years. Drugs have been a serious crutch, and I think that a lot of the music I made was compromised and not I keep doing the uhs, and I was just reading a podcast group about how uhs are not good. Who gives a fuck? People can really hear in this audio the background of the background hissing. God damn me. I honestly just think that, when I was making all this music under such an intoxicated state, and I had the wrong heroes. I don't know if I've mentioned that before. I really have always looked, whether they're contemporary people, the 60s counterculture, the 70s music, the 80s music that I was just engulfed in and have always tried to emulate. I felt that there was something expected of the toxicity of drug addiction. But I really don't have a leg to stand on because I'm no saint to this day. Again, I feel like a mess. I feel like Johnny Depp posting an Instagram live video from the bunker in the midst of controversy. You don't have to be a famous person. You don't got to be a celebrity to relate to people's problems, I realized. You just gotta have a fucked up life. And I don't think anybody, even those famous people, would really wish their problems upon anybody else. Marilyn Manson, who I'm really not a fan of, just got in trouble for... Well, it's not just like got in trouble. It's like people just know now. When they talk about cancel culture, I just want to tell people right now that I think that this awareness towards not separating the artist from the art, but this awareness towards, these may be public figures, these may be beloved people, and their music has inspired you, but I honestly think this is a good thing for humanity. You got to think outside of your box, your creative norms, and you shouldn't hold anybody sacred, because chances are your heroes don't hold you sacred. That's why they're your heroes. That's why they're your influences. But we're only human, I just really feel like a fool because in doing this fundraiser and then looking for jobs in the entertainment industry, I was victim of a voiceover fraud scam. I thought I was going to be a voiceover actor on a commercial, and I was bragging about it and telling people, only to find out that this was some offshore thing and a data grab, and I just feel completely fucked. And only me would get so excited about something that I didn't even know, that wasn't guaranteed, that wasn't promised. Only me, fuck me. God damn it. I think I was going to talk about unrequited love earlier, but I don't really think I should do that. I really don't want to talk about it because, platonic love is a wonderful thing. I've had problems in my past with keeping relationships that were healthy. I mean, I have problems with just friendship in general. I mean, there are so many friends of mine who just I've treated bad and I haven't been a good friend. And when I say not being a good friend, I mean, I can be a real fucking asshole. It really just takes being alone and cutting ties and burning bridges. I mean, it's not like you should do that, but it takes that in order for you to learn. Like I've said many times before, I had to be wrong in order to learn. I really still think that despite all of the crap that I'm going through right now, despite all the things that are hindering me, this is a teachable moment for myself. I mean, had I really been paid the amount that I expected to get from this scam, and I really had that kind of money, I probably didn't, maybe it would not have been good for me. It clearly was not meant to happen during that time. It wasn't meant to be. And I have to start understanding and embracing what will never be and why that's important. But I just want so much more. I expect so much. I really have felt like I was owed so many things. And they don't have to be superficial things. They don't have to be shallow things. They can be things that, you just envy. You envy in other people, but desire. And desire is something else. It really is. I remember I used to do this show on Instagram Live, and I really, really, really was a toxic person. I remember I literally started breaking out and fucking crying on one of the episodes because I was arguing with somebody on a comment section. I mean, what kind of bitch? Sorry, what kind of coward really allows that kind of thing to happen to him? Like, who the fuck did I think I was? I didn't know who I was, I guess. I didn't have a good sense of understanding. I didn't have that sense of security. And I think I'm going to shut the lights off again for this because I really am starting to feel uncomfortable with this exposure. Shutting the lights on and off in this broadcast because I feel like this is a dark moment in my life. Now, I've tried to be really positive. I think I had a great month of sobriety. I took a great amount of time to give myself clarity, to understand what was going to really work for me. And now I am $2,200, which is not a lot of money, in debt as a result of a scam. And for the people who did this to me, you're going to burn in hell. And it's not going to be the hell that I would ever burn in. Fuck that. I don't even want to. I don't want to talk about that. There are some things you just should not talk about. Honestly, I stutter so much, and I try to get my point across. And I've always been the kind of artist, if you will, who has been really, really, really self-conscious and unsure about what they're saying they believe. I have been a vulnerable person, not so much in my art, not so much in my music, but I've been a vulnerable person in life for those who have known me. And I felt that this whole character, whether it was the mad cult leader, the first band that's also a religion, the People's Love Cult, or the rock star, or the whatever, or the entertainer, or the personality. It was a part of a front. It was a part of a facade that I had to realize was just not, well, it was me, or it was who I thought I was. But now I realize how vulnerable I am and how susceptible I am to these very human things, the human condition of falling in love too fast and wanting something that you can't have, and the kind of person you are and the kind of tragedy that you allow happen to yourself with this kind of mentality. But it's like being aware of this is one thing. I think that even in knowing that life is a struggle and that we're not perfect and that this is just what has to happen, I mean, that for me is a crutch. That for me became too big of a safety net. But I woke up this morning, I just felt like I do not deserve this kind of shit. Like, out of all the things, like, I don't even know if I would, I mean, I hate some people, but I don't know if I would wish this kind of thing, this whole being scammed and given this kind of, like, opportunity that turns out to be a complete lie and a complete fraud. And yeah, I found it on Craigslist. Because sometimes on Craigslist, you never know. There are things, I'm looking for a damn job. I don't drive. I can't do the those vendor independent contract, whatever they are, DoorDash, Postmates. I would love to do that. I really respect anybody that does that. This episode is brought to you by all of the hardworking people who sacrifice their time and insurance money or insurance payments to get somebody a slice of cheesecake. You know, that's an important thing. Shout out to you all. But you know me, I've always been terrible at the 9 to 5. I've always embraced and been proud of the possibility and now the reality that I'm self-employed, that I'm an independent contractor. But you know, I got to stop talking like I'm some kind of businessman, because I don't know. You know, I don't really know what I'm talking about. Like I've said, I don't really know what I'm doing, and I have to be honest about that. This is what happens when you have a responsibility, and when a lot more people are paying attention to you all of a sudden, and you know, you really want them to know you. You really want them to know the full you, the real you. I have been kind of irredeemable at times. I have really also been hard on myself, and I've tried to gain some kind of understanding and some kind of like, well, like I've mentioned in the last episode entitled Self-Love and Other Delusions, it is a tough thing to, it's a tough thing. That's not something you fake, and I feel like I actually, for some reason, well, no, for very good reason, I think I was faking it at one point. And again, I'm struggling, well, not again, I don't know if I've mentioned this on previous episodes, but I have an imposter syndrome. And I talk people's ear off, and I'm an open book, and I've gotten way too candid at times. I'm just looking for an answer. You know, I'm trying to figure things out, but the jealousy within me, the jealous person that I really am, has always only hurt me. And until, god damn it, I can't speak, until only fucking recently, I've actually understood that the people that have hurt me and the things that I don't have, and this loneliness, this isolation is, well, okay, the rejection, why I can't be, you know, why I'm not suited for a relationship or something like that. Okay, that has a lot to do with me. But what am I saying? There's just some things that have nothing to do with me. There's some circumstances, and I've got to have a better sense of compassion, a better understanding, and a sense of self-love. But maybe just kind of, I mean, I've been cheated on in the past in relationships to the point that it made me so possessed. What the fuck is happening with my fucking mind? This is what stress will do to you. Be cool. Come on, Mr. Pope. You're loved. You're young enough. You've got great hair. Don't get lost in the fact that you got great hair. Wash your hair when it's looking great. Try to be yourself. I'm trying to be myself a little bit more. But really, despite everything, it's just, this notion that I feel like nobody. And I think I made so much music because had I not been on the internet or on a record or on a cassette, if somebody hadn't seen a painting I'd done, if I hadn't showed with somebody, I could disappear and never be, heard from again. And I couldn't fathom something like that. It also really bothers me that my life could have ended or could have ended any day getting hit by a bus or getting hit by a car after taking the bus to a job selling fake auto warranty insurance or some like bullshit private healthcare plan over the phone. I fear that stipulation, and that doesn't say much other than I do believe that life is precious, but it's just this constant, I gotta escape this character of Mr. Pope, and not in like changing my stage name, just in like, I've got to understand that there is me, and there's more to life than just this, because I've made all that music now, and I feel comfortable with where I am, but I put way too much time, I invested way too much in something, much like unrequited love, where you think this what if, and some things just don't have an answer. There's a void that's beyond all of this. I'm not worried anymore about people making fun of me. I'm not worried about the way that people perceive me, but I'm worried about the extent it will go to the edge, that I will perceive myself based on what other people are saying. What other people tell you, what other people give out to you, what other people bring you, you can't be owed anything. It says more about them than it does you. Just like the people that ripped me off and scammed me. It says more about the kind of people they are and what they're really meant to do in life. It has nothing to do with me, but nevertheless, I feel I played a role, or I was a pawn. And, you never think that you're going to be scammed. You never think that this is going to happen to you. You always assume that, that's going to happen to somebody who's like completely like, hey, I'm living here. Goddamn, they sent me a check for $2,000. Well, it looks like I'm rich. Maybe you have like a negative, you just really do believe that people are dumb. Never get comfortable in the belief that, oh, people are dumb, people are stupid. Because things can happen to you. You never know what kind of circumstance. Never look at the person who's begging on the street, whether you're going to give them $1 or not. Never assume that could not be you. It's survival, all of this. And let's talk about that for a minute. Survival. I remember when I was in high school, I heard the term social Darwinism, and in a sick way I liked it. I thought that was like a cool thing. I really believed in something to me now just seems like an injustice. There are so many inequalities, and there are so many things that somebody like me, an idealist or whatever, carries on their shoulder to try to fix the world and try to do good. But I mean, I'm really not morally equipped to do that, and it's really not my place to say. I really definitely want good things for people, but then it's like, oh, the people who have fucked me over, like those who broke my heart, the friends I've cut ties with and burnt bridges with. But it's the hardest thing in the world, the hardest fucking thing in the world, to just let things go, or not react, or take it with, try to handle it with compassion and love. I really am hurting at that end. I really just feel like a fool. I feel like a fool for so many reasons. Maybe I should turn the lights back on in my room right now. Currently I'm sitting here in beautiful Los Angeles, California, in Echo Park, the hip and yet slowly gentrified neighborhood, and You know, I see a lot of people in relationships, and it's funny because it's always like a girl and a guy with glasses that are like matching, or it's just a weird thing. I mean, I don't want to be in a relationship right now. I don't think that I'm really like equipped for it morally and spiritually, but it sucks to be alone and to be rejected. It always has. I try too fucking hard. I've always had this pride where I have nothing to prove, but it's like, I'm done now. Like, I just feel, I feel like if I tried even, I wouldn't even know how to try. There's just a point of, like, exhaust, like, of actual stress. And this has been the most intense musical journey of my life. Recording Century Girl. The story behind it, this is my most... I still think it's my best album in every way. Because I got away, as I've said before on the show, and friends of mine, who I've explained this to you, for a long time, when I released Dream Reality, which I think is good. It's available on Sun God Records, and it's available on cassette through Common Time Tapes, and if you're in the Los Angeles area, it is being currently sold at Cosmic Vinyl in the district that is like in between Silver Lake and Echo Park. It's a good thing. It was an accomplishment to take my music and put it in the record store on such short notice, and to walk there in rags. You know, I haven't done that in a very long time. So I always have to thank Steven at Autumn Sounds, and I always have to thank Archie with Crafting Room Recordings. I just want to keep good relationships. I just want to keep things like good, you know. It's not so much about my reputation, caring about that, even though I talk about like, oh, not caring about what people think. It's just more like there's just some stability that I need. Like I can't be upset about the things that I used to be upset about. I mean, they still bug me, and music can be a coping method for that, but in order to create, you need clarity. Now, you're going to create with or without it. You're going to do what you want to do with or without it, but the stress that I'm currently going through in what I did with this fundraiser, what I did with the situation that is currently at bay, where I am completely broke. I'm negative $2,200 in my account, and I don't know. I want this to just be solved. It just recently happened, so I'm kind of doing this emergency, and I'm just saying this is basically my press conference here on the live stream here. So the one person needs to know is that I can't receive any funds or donations, and any downloads I get right now, or any downloads that have been in the past week or whatever, are not going to go to me. Well, they're going to go to the deficit, you know, to take me out of the negative. But I mean, I've never been a good person with money necessarily, because I really thought that, you know, I'd be 19 years old or 18 years old, or as a teenager when I was playing in the bar, and there would just be the right person to say, you're signed. But I don't hate myself for that feeling. I don't even think I was a dumbass for that feeling. I still worked hard. I needed that kind of idealism. And I love when people send me music. I love all the young people, like Callum, like the people I've never met, you know, who send me music, and I hear it, and it's wonderful. Even when it's bad, when people send me stuff, I will never say, like, this is bad. You know, it's never bad to me when someone who is paying attention and has genuinely reached out, I get to see things from a different perspective. I get to appreciate someone's bravery for actually submitting their stuff, because I know that feeling of sending your music out there, or having your music out there and seeing the views or seeing whatever, and having to track that in order to, you know, actually get that deal or whatever you want from it. It's a personal contempt. It's that kind of issue, and I really want people to remain encouraged. And the best thing I can ever be is not really an artist or a musician. It's somebody who reminds people they need to believe in themselves and that there is no option. You have to believe in yourself. I don't care who you are. I don't care how unsure of yourself you are. You still need to believe in yourself. I mean, take it from me. Take it from someone who can't even believe that I'll ever be happy again. I mean, I was so down recently that it affected all the relationships that I had. I was so down, and I didn't think I was feeling sorry for myself, but I was carrying this, and I still, even on, maybe you can even tell in my mannerisms and the way that I'm speaking that, like, I've just been shot. And it's like, what will make me feel better? It's like, what do I want? And you think about what you want. Like, I've thought about, like, oh, what do I really want? I know what I want. Why am I sad? You carry that with you. It is impossible to fake self-love. It is impossible to white-knuckle a stable person. If you're full of shit, it looks so much worse. And I used to come off. I called. I was on the phone with the BMI in Nashville, and I called the woman a cunt. And like, would I do that today? No. But would I know what I was getting myself into? Like, somebody that doesn't know who you are, and like, because you're this underground edgy artist and you want to be successful just because. Like, you're gonna call the woman at the BMI a cunt? Like, seriously, are you that fucked in the head? You're gonna call the person who's trying. That's like calling the bank teller. That's like saying, "Give me the money, you cunt. Give me the money, you cunt." I don't want to keep saying cunt. That's not a word I like to use much. But, these are dire and drastic times, and it needs to change. This is such a fiasco for me, and oh yeah, so about being down and stuff, I said something that I really wish I hadn't said. Do not ever think that I'm the person, I mean, I don't really consider myself controversial or edgy or anything like that, but I've definitely said some things that I really wish I didn't say. I wasn't even feeling that way. It was really just for a complete visceral reaction. And I said recently to a friend of mine, I said that like, what do I want? I think they were asking me what I want in life or whatever, or like what kind of house I wanted to live in. I just said, as long as it's being alive, anything that still is being alive is okay for me. I should not have said that. It just really damaged my character. Probably anything good about myself. I really have to understand how personality means a lot more than, believe it or not, looks and stuff like that. I really, to the way that I take things, the complete, the problem child within me is so astonishing to me. And I really think it's leaked into some of my music. I mean, I listen to some of the stuff that I've recorded, and and years ago, I mean, a lot of people can't hear the lyrics because of the sound, whatever, the fidelity. It suffers in whatever. I've explained this. People know what the fuck I sound like if they're listening to this, if they've heard anything of me. I remember how I was feeling, what I was saying, and a lot of it was improvisational, but it's like, I would not write something like that again. I had to focus on what I failed to mention earlier, the lyrics and the content and the material of the music. And that's why this album that I'm working on, which it's going to be available through Common Time Tapes on March 1st. The album is called Century Girl and Other Reoccurring Themes. And this is going to be credited to Mr. Pope and the People's Love Cult. This is the first time that I have done an album crediting both myself and the band. I didn't want it to be Mr. Pope and the People's Love Cult with that little ampersand. I want to apologize to anybody who is aware of this. I have like I have 2 different People's Love Cult Facebook pages, and there are 3 different titles under Spotify and YouTube and Bandcamp. I like to do that though. I'm going to be doing a lot less of that in the future, especially if I survive. It's Mr. Pope and the People's Love Cult. That is when I make like a rock opera I mean, there's a lot of rock operas within the stuff I do, like Lassie Returns and the People's Love Cold album, Live at Mar-a-Lago. But there's like a real story behind it, and I kind of hated that Mr. Pope and the People's. I don't like to be at the front of something, and like a lot of the albums that were the People's Love Cold were really just me recently. So this is kind of like a good form of closure for this project. And I'm going to be still releasing music. I also want to just last minute, Autumn Sounds has also released on cassette the Channel Seth, my side project, which is also my username on Twitter and Instagram. They have released Animal Crossing. And that's going to be that's definitely the last thing I'm going to do under my side project. That's just, it's too confusing, to do that, to have like all these titles. I mean, to try to do my publishing, Sun God Records, it's just, I mean, I like versatility and I'm known for my prolific output, but there's just some times where I'm like, dude, that's enough. Especially the direction it's going in now. I don't feel, oh yeah, so I was focusing on the sound a lot more when I was recording Dream Reality, which was an electronic kind of album. And then I have an album called L-Lame, not L.A. Me. I don't know if you guys have seen or heard Get Dreamy or Gotta Let Go or Another Way. This is a project that's currently shelved, but it was a fantastic experience. It's a currently unreleased EP because I don't have the money to get back on Spotify right now. It was my most conventional effort, and it was a genuine pop music effort. There is some pop music in what I do. I guess maybe it comes with more of the simplicity. That's part of the territory. And here's this guy who's been talking about his music for like 30 minutes now. Probably to some people, they're like, what the fuck is he saying? But I got to do this. This is a personal document. It's an archive. So during Dream Reality, making that, which I think was an interesting album, I love all kinds of music. I guess that's my way of telling people when I do change my sound a lot. I'm obviously a big fan of Bowie, big fan of Dylan. One of my big things I say is I don't believe in genre. I believe in fucking music. But Dream Reality was kind of stressful to do because right before I moved to Los Angeles, I was planning on releasing all this music, and I settled with doing something, The Curse of Mr. Pope, and finding a label for that, and that was a miracle. I also had been employed for a project with this guy Paul Pennyfeather called Pennyfeather Pope, and I produced that, and that's like the most unearthed thing that like I produced it completely, and at first I thought it was really good. I didn't get paid for it, but that's fine. But then I listened to it, I was like, God, I was bad. Not because of him, he was good, but it was like he wrote the lyrics and I sang them. I've never done anything like that. I don't know if I'm going to do anything like that again. Well, I can't say never. I'm pretty much open to anything that's not a scam, a money laundering scam that like I've just gone through. Anything that's not fraud. Anything that's being alive is okay with me. Anything that like allows me to continue to just create and compensates me, that'd be awesome. I don't want to appear desperate, but it's like if I'm not honest and candid, I really don't think I'll be myself. I'll be like, I would be doing this show, and I didn't really plan on doing this show again, but people do like it. I mean, podcasting is an enjoyable template for me. When I worked in radio, I remember people were saying it's like a dying business. It's a dying thing, and I feel like podcasting saved radio. I feel like it still is radio because, especially with the kind of like things I'm hearing right now in this setting, it's just a universal means of communication, and I enjoy it. I recently was on a podcast, and it was an enjoyable experience. This has been the most promotion and press I've ever done prior to the release of an album. It's my first real like commercial release. I'm very happy with Common Time Tapes. You should all follow them, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Common Time Tapes, they're based in Florida, and they had an album by Savannah Grand, a very talented artist, sell out recently. And, you should follow them because they're going to be releasing Century Girl, and they've been so cool. And all the people that I've sent my music to or who have reached out to me are all the badass people I know. And all the people I've worked with, whoever was in the People's Love Cult, I love you. I really do. I really want the band to come back. And that's why there is good news. I'm not sure if I've mentioned in the past my band Gravy Horse. But Gravy Horse was me and one of my best friends, Jack Gibson. And we lost touch for a while. Jack, like me, struggled with homelessness and drug addiction. And he's back. He's back and he's been sober. He's been sober. He managed to stay sober, unlike me. He's been sober for about 3 months, and I really want him to continue doing that because he is my hero. A lot of people had Keith Richards and Jimi Hendrix in high school to look up to in the 60s, who started bands, but I was fortunate enough to have people like Jack Gibson, to people who I knew. When Miles Davis and Quincy Jones talk about the people in front of them being the biggest impact, the most important people, I have that experience too, just with a different genre and scene, a different form of that. And I'm very excited for it. So Jack Gibson is back, and I'm going to be promoting his music, and hopefully he will have a cassette released soon through some friends of mine. And if they're watching this or listening to this, I will be sending you some music from my dear friend. He's a big part of why I do what I do today. And he was the other half of Gravy Horse, the duo, and he formed the People's Love Cult with me. We played the original live show circuit that we did that was very small. But mainly it was just like a house show thing. And drugs and personal issues and fighting got in the way. And that's all changed now. He's turning that around. And on the Sun God Records YouTube channel, which I hope you subscribe to, I'll be posting some of his music and maybe having a release on the Sun God Records page as soon as he sends me his album Evil Mind. You can listen to that album now on SoundCloud, Jack Gibson 27. You can hear Jack Gibson's music also on the Sun God Records page. If you search for Gravy Horse, the 3 albums are Swallow Your Pride with a Mouthful of Feedback, Let's Just Get This Over With, Double Rainbow, and Gravy Horse Rides Again. And Gravy Horse is going to ride again. But we will be reforming the People's Love Cult, and hopefully we've been in talks to do a YouTube series. I'm not sure how long I'm going to stay in Los Angeles. The future is not too bright here right now. It's literally pitch black. I don't feel jaded or scorned. I'm not going to give up, but I may not be cut out for show business like I thought I was. Music, definitely. Entertainment, for sure, but show business, it seems like we have a lot of work to do. And that's just between me and the Almighty. Whatever force is out there. But I'm just going to take it still one day at a time and appreciate what I have and what's right in front of me. And I'm always going to. It has been a real pleasure to have the people and the support and every day waking up to new messages from people. Well, not necessarily every day, but enough, and seeing where that can be and what that can get me. If you're watching this on the Facebook Live, please do like my page, Mr. Pope. Also like my other million pages. The People's Love Cult, Sun God Records. I'm sure you have, and just stick with me. I try to continue my very accessible, very personable, very personal, too, relationship with my many friends. Not going to just call you fans or followers, but that is a part of it. My Instagram is channelseth_. My Twitter, which is an embarrassing 58 or 59 followers on a lucky day if a nice bot finds me. That's also Channel Seth. I don't really have much to say on there, but I've got a lot to say, that's for sure, especially if you're listening to this. So for the rest of the show, I will be showcasing some music. Live feed is ending now. Thank you very much. How do I get off this live feed? This is why I can't cope with doing this. Okay, now that's over. Now I feel a whole lot better. Because now I can, on this exclusive YouTube video, I can express to you how excited I am, to just be. You see, I'm not excited actually anymore. I'm just going to reread this statement to close things out. When I was talking about my, hello. Oh no, I'm doing the podcast. Yeah. I want to just reread this statement. Common Time Tapes will be releasing Century Girl and other reoccurring themes on cassette March 1st. It will be credited to not only Mr. Pope, but the People's Love Cult as well. I want to thank my collaborators and my supporters and the people who have been actively following and listening to the album during this process. All that music is posted here on this YouTube page. You have all given me a reason to live. I have decided with a heavy heart to end the fundraiser for the album as a result of a recent ongoing issue, which is I was scammed. But I want to thank all of you who have donated, and I guarantee you will be getting your copies in advance, which is still true, and I will send you music prior to the official release, and that's still true too. And one more time I'll say it, this is my best album, and I love you all. Thank you so much for listening. Let's talk about that for a minute.
bastard son can take a hint. I will show you I'm the one who will make a difference down there you live. In my case there's never been a we broke up, I've been dumped, but I know you're the one. love. Sunshine Gang seems to know all. Faces erased on the whiteboard, setting high. Ghastly faces on a sunshine shore, the house of 100 years. In my past I'd written of this before, but no, I never thought I'd live here. The Sunshine Gang, the Sunshine Gang. I moved out west to find it all, but love has steered me clear. We'll talk all about it at the Sunset House. We're making love right here at the Sunshine House. All these strange folks singing and dancing, I'm drinking my life away. Just another way to say goodbye at the Sunset House. Just another day right here in the Sunshine House. Right here in the Sunset House. Of a million lives. Sunshine We're the first to break the rules. I look like a damn fool. Light of my life is still shining, but it will never be, baby. If it will never be, I know that I'm crazy. tried not to mess up the proper game. Got to know that century girl. Yes, you've got to know that century girl. My pilot's cracking and I'm feeling underfed. All of my memories are of those who are dead. So please send me the girl, the century's perfect girl. Understand desire, bring forth my medium, and paint the child grey. Your handlings are mutual, diamonds virtue. 7 heads, 6 years, 1 beast in ocean, awakens, awake. Sentiment of godliness, faith. Closing circles form beneath the minds. Caravan where the panthers hide. Chant, speaking formless and they still. As the closing circle commences, resist all temptation to understand desire. Your handlings are of grey. Closing circle commencing. Closing circle commencing. drove around on a sunny day. She hit the roof, had nothing to say. Tears formed in his camera lens eyes. Shadows a line, shadows a line between you and I. He walks there every night to the same bodega. I may not be able to afford my smokes, but there's something I can bring her. Shadows a line. She sees my camera and his eyes. Shades her ass. She knows she's a peculiar class. The fat tattoo, big shades along, and the chicken boy is jacking on.
Healthy animals, they love their filth. They live in their filth because they're made of filth. They only play games and let them own slaves.
Animal Crossing.
They are sleeping in there, counting the billions of nerds.
Well, it's the new herd.
They don't wanna know of any disease. All they see is cryptocurrency. And you're a commie if you disagree
With the Animal Crossing.
Nobody does it like you do, so I can't help but think that I was born to love you. She won't let me down myself, this much is true. They know where I long to be. You show me love on your behalf. even when it's love that I can't have. At least admit I've made you laugh and set myself free from my past. I long to be in the arms of Emily. Oh, I long to be within the arms of Emily, the arms of Emily, Emily. Oh, I long to be in your arms, Emily, 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 Emily.
Come on, Emily. Come on, babe. Just give me a chance. This has been like a whole fucking album of songs. I have been doing music for like 10 years and I haven't done anything like this ever in my life. I'm so embarrassed. I am completely insufferable. I understand how this looks, this whole thing, but I mean, what the fuck?
Because you hit me like a blunt force injury, and I can't write. How the hell could it be alright with me? There's only so much love can do for me. All alone, you see that I'm upset and yet you're not home. Hear your voice, and now I realize this was the worst choice. To fall in love again, it's never going to make it right. You won't ever see me again. Crashing down, she crashed my car and I hit head first. Broken glass. Now it seems like good times never last too long. Because the joke ain't funny anymore, and I'm getting tired of every single song. You'll never hear it's always wrong. I've got something to tell you. Oh yes, I've got something to tell you, but it's slipped my mind so gone. Baby, something to tell you.
I've got something to tell you. I've got something to tell you.
Now it took a while, she swept me off my feet. When she by my side, I got a terminal disease. I told her all, she won't believe that my word is true. I'm a good man, honey, I don't care what you tweet. Good man, honey, I don't care what you tweet. Oh, yeah. She says she don't wanna be in love. She says she don't wanna be. Can't play this role of a fool. Spend my time and pay dues to the post office now. And I know I can't deliver, but it got lost in the mail late at night. Oh, looking at a cell phone screen. I'm a good man, honey, I don't care what you tweet. Good man, honey, I don't care what we need. She thinks that I'm the king of the sea. I'm living with the good man blues. Well, it's my fault that I can't deny you all these times, and yet I can try to run away and hide. Well, it's my fault, but don't quote me on it. I know that I don't know but on it. Yes, it is a bad sign, because it's coming from someone who's giving off love, even this time. Really, I don't seem not at all to self-assured, and that's my fault, I'm sure. My fault, I'm sure. I will give you my love, because for all I know, you're the only one I'm thinking of. For all I know is you. I don't want to disappear. You see right through me, and there's no point in staying here. For now I know.
He wrote the worst prose ever. He sang songs, and still, it made no difference. And now, it's over.
It's just another reoccurring theme in the life of a fraud. It's got to be anyone but me. For all I
Christ.